Who wants to pick? We got the Lusher lottery. How many got to sign? Got to put your okay, good. So maybe could you guys model the? We've got the gift basket right here on top. Savannah, right? Someone is going to win this lovely fall gift basket provided to us by Wegner LLP. Thank you, Wegner. And Chitana, would you like to choose who's going to win? Okay. Can you see what it says?
Newcomb?
Joy Newcomb.
Oh, nice. Right there.
One this lovely, lovely gift back.
That's a photo op right there.
We always talk about the center being a place to share your gifts. So I'm going to close this out tonight, but I want to make sure before I do to say, like, once we're done talking here, don't leave, right? There's all throughout the center, there's desserts. We place them in all the different rooms, so you have to go find them. Yeah. And there's coffee in the Spartan room, and you know, talk with us, scheme with us some more about what we're all going to do together. So I wanted to close with just a couple of reflections. You know, for the last year or so, as we've been coming up on this 35-year anniversary and thinking back to the people who started this work and thinking back, we've also been doing some work looking at how can we make our programs better? How can we make them more effective? We've been reading research, and it's interesting because these things start coming together along with little experiences that happen to you. You know, we're learning about things like, the longer you have relationships with kids in programs year after year, the more impacts you have. I mean, things that really aren't rocket science, you kind of know them, but there are also researchers who tell you, yeah, you're right, that's actually true. And then thinking about the connections that people have made, like the Harden-Rantel family, in terms of being in a neighborhood for many years and what that means. And so every once in a while you get these little messages from the universe that things are going right, that you're going in the right direction, and that you're on the right track. Yesterday, one of those happened. There have been a couple of them this week, but I'm going to keep it short because I'm standing between you and dessert. So I've been talking with Johnny and Linda a little bit. We've been working on what they were going to say here tonight, and they were practicing. And so they came in yesterday, and they came in with their granddaughter, Tiziana. Is Tiziana here?
No.
She's not here? Oh, man. Tiziana and Fantasia and Desi were some of the first kids that I met when I started working here. And so Tiziana was here, and Tiziana was here with her 3-year-old son, Kamari. And so we were talking and just kind of catching up, and of course I get down and I'm thinking about sort of this generations that we have here at the center. I'm talking, and I get down to Kamari, who last time I saw him, she was like carrying him, right? And he's 3 years old now. And I get down and I'm like, hey Kamari, you're so big. Do you have your driver's license yet? And he just looks up at me, and he just opens his arm and walks up and gives me this big hug. It's like, yep. I'm going to be here for you too. Right? Kindergarten, middle school, high school, we're going to be here. Straight through. I've been thinking a lot about community and what this stuff means. Think a little bit about it like family. Maybe even a little bit like a marriage, right? Building this building was like planning a huge, complicated wedding. Huge, complicated wedding. We planned it for like 7 years. And now it's real. And so now we get down to the real work of raising our kids together, caring for our elders together, living our lives together, and building the community that our children, that our families deserve. The real work that we have to do day after day, year after year, sustainably. The next 2 years in the life of this center are really critical. It's the last 2 years of the 8-year transition into this building, the last 2 years of a 15-year project to make this place an integral part of the network, of the fabric of this community. The question really now is, are we going to make this thing stick? Right? Are we going to be there for Kamari? So we keep pushing ourselves, as I talked about the staff, pushing ourselves to work harder, stronger, to be smarter, to make this place more effective, to build more collaborations that go deeper. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about Dolores Tomaszewska and Precious McCain, Margaret Vanderpool and Carolyn DeLeon and some others whose names I don't know, who sat in an apartment in 1978, 79 in the Wexford Apartments, right? And they said, we need a place for the neighborhood kids. And never probably dreamed that this would be what it would look like, right? And I'm thinking about Janet. Where's Janet? She just had to go with the baby, right? With her grandbaby. Janet House and Kim and some of the other women who are in this room who got together probably 14 years ago and said, you know, we really have to do something to support the younger women who are in the neighborhood who don't have older women supporting them. And they created something called Women Rise Up that continues to go to work today. If you got a chance to go into the listening booth at the far end, you might have heard the voice of Janice Alvarado, who was just graduated from the 8th grade when she and her friends got together and said, you know, we need something for high schoolers. There's nothing for high schoolers. We need a program for high schoolers. I don't think they would have dreamed that there would be a program called Teen Build Up that has 200, 300 kids come through it every year, right? And I think about Betty Custer. Where's Betty? There's Betty. Who let me into her office about 10 years ago to hear this crazy plan by this little organization that was operating out of apartments. You know, this completely unrealistic, totally not feasible idea to raise $4.5 million and build this community center for the West Side. And she came to the center and she saw what we were doing and she already knew about it, but looked into it more deeply and she just decided this has to be done. It must be done. And she put her shoulder down with many other people, but more than anyone else, put this thing on her back and worked tirelessly for at least 4 years to make sure this place would be here. I think about all of these people, and I really take it as a challenge. It's like, can I live up to that tradition, that legacy, that standard that they have set for us? Right? The question is really who among us are called to step up, and which of us are going to answer that call? Not for my kids or for my family, but for our kids and for our family. What we're doing here right now in this center is wonderful, and it's not enough. And we have some unreasonable plans. And we're recruiting. We'd like you to be a part of those unreasonable plans. Because what we need to do in this community is unreasonable, but it's absolutely necessary. There are many, many things that we have planned and that we'd like you to be a part of. One opportunity that I want to announce tonight that is coming right up for us and is actually very exciting is we have been offered a $50,000 match for any gifts over $150 that we get between now and the end of the year.
Cool.
The donors asked to remain anonymous, but we will say that we are incredibly grateful to this person. This is not a fundraising event, and I am not asking you to take out your checkbooks. This is a fundraising event. This is a recruiting event. I'm saying who in here is inspired and wants to help us hit that goal and go out and raise it with us. All right? And after that, very soon after that, we're going to start looking at 2017, these next 2 years, and where do we need to be in 2017? What is it we need to be doing? How do we sustain what we're doing, and how do we strategically add pieces? How do we go maybe from 10 Buffett scholars to 20 Buffett scholars? How do we make those specific changes? And we're recruiting, and we hope you'll find us and become a part of it. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Please enjoy the rest of the night.
What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I don't know if I even need to interview him. Hard to hold that camera. Oh, it's hard, Joe. No, I just said I don't need to. Oh, you need to? It's right there, talking to Paul. But that's not him. Oh, okay. That's right, they're not the same person.
They're not the same person.
These are all fresh, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were.
No, but I mean, they're not like people set them down.
Right.
Another board member.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That was a great presentation.